Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. We didn't record yesterday because I think I was just too annoyed, and now I'm even more annoyed. Um, so this might take a minute. First of all, yesterday, they talked about the Sean Combs video where he beats the shit out of his girlfriend in a hotel hallway while wearing only a towel. Um, and I mean, first of all, I just don't understand. I understand the statute of limitations has run out, that he can't be prosecuted for that. Um, but because apparently he purchased the tape from the hotel, and kept it in his house, and it was found during the raid that they when well, not the raid, but when they got a search warrant for his houses, because he's suspected of sex trafficking. So I don't understand how the hotel doesn't have an obligation to give that to the police, um, in a timely manner. That boggles my mind. Um, that they're sort of complicit, and okay, well, we'll cover that up. But um, and his apology video was really, I'm sorry I got caught. It was awful. It just, but this whole thing, this sort of righteousness about, especially that Anna Navarro went on, that I hope he's persecuted in the court of public opinion, and that we take away his career, and he's lost endorsements and all that stuff, and that's 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 all fine and good, but then you look at someone like Kevin Spacey, who that happened to, but he hasn't been convicted of anything yet. And he's starting to get work again, and he's starting to like it's getting to come back around. And fuck that guy, um, Predator. Uh, it's just like that's not enough. Um, but then you have to have some accountability, right? There has to be some sort of punishment. There should be something that happens, in the process, that makes you pay for the things that you've done that are awful, even though you did them in the past. And um, then and repeatedly. And then there's the whole other idea that there is an opportunity for people to, you know, rehabilitate themselves and have a second chance, because they've talked on the show a lot about, people shouldn't be canceled forever. So you can't be that definitive about the whole thing. And then you've got, Whoopi, who still stands by and supports her friend Bill Cosby. Like, there's so much hypocrisy going on through the whole conversation. Um, and you just don't get that kind of absolutism when it's something that's just so fucking muddled. Uh, so I didn't like their high horse yesterday. Um, and then I didn't, and then they put on fucking Bill Maher today, which we'll get to. But Jesus fucking Christ, why are we giving him a platform? Um, so Diddy. Then there's the whole thing about the trial that is now the defense has rested, and stupid Amy Alyssa Fairfiler Griffin is like, I just I'm just annoyed with the whole trial. This one just bothers me. It's like, well, fuck off. It's because you don't understand it, or that is it because you think in the mind of public opinion it's not enough. Um, and if that's all it is, what do you actually think, lady? Is everything that you think and feel just in terms of how it is then, sort of seen or viewed, um, or influences politics? Is that the only lens that you have, is just politically? Because that's what it feels like every time she opens her fucking mouth. Um, that and she wants Biden to get back to the soul of the nation campaign. It's like, you know what? I, I what he's trying to do is highlight how awful Donald Trump is. He'll get there. It's a long campaign. And there's and a lot of things that people are going to forget from now until November, and you don't want to go through election fatigue. If he just starts saying that one thing and just keeps saying it until November, people are going to get tired of it and stop listening. So there's a multi-layered process to a sort of a marketing campaign that takes that long. Um, Trump's band is Trump's brand is Trump's brand. That's never going to change, except that he's becoming a little more Nazi. And Sarah fucking Haynes, why are you all of a sudden a Trump apologist? To say, oh, that Third Reich, that United Reich video that or whatever that he retweeted or whatever the fuck happened was probably an accident. No, it wasn't. That's never an accident. And that's the playbook. Put it out there, get all the neo Nazis, shitheads, all those little MAGA trumpets, all like fired up, yeah, yeah, and then take it down and be like, "Oops, sorry," and the trumpets are like, "Yeah, we know, we got it." Standing back and standing by. Uh, the one thing that makes me feel a little bit better about the potential chaos that's going to happen when he loses the election is that most of the people who organized on the ground for January 6th, the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, those leaders are all in jail. At least the ones that were there. So and for a long time. So I don't like a lot of those participants aren't going to be able to be there again. So that gives me a little solace. Um, but uh, then they have fucking Bill Maher on, and it's like Jesus Christ. And he's played nice. Like he usually just says the most ridiculous things because he likes getting the attention. Um, and his whole thing about sort of equating the far right and the far left as sort of the things that are causing the most problems are so fucking stupid. The far right, he says yes, the far right is more dangerous, but he doesn't focus on that at all. His focus has always been on the very far left, and I don't necessarily disagree with him, but you can't also take that seriously, and um, it's not that huge of a contingent. The far right is a pretty big contingent, enough to sort of sway elections. The far left isn't. Um, and when he brought up his example of homelessness, it's like he even missed the mark on that because we don't even use homeless anymore. But it's like whatever fringe group he's talking about that says that the people who are experiencing homelessness need to be saved for their homelessness and allow them to live that way. Like I, I think that's a misrepresentation of people saying stop arresting them and putting them in jail um, for living under a bridge. Um, Nobody's saying don't try to help them, leave them there permanently because that's their culture. I think people are trying to say stop arresting them and stop the sort of victimization of homeless people. Um, so he twists everything that comes out of the far left and makes it a bigger problem than it is, and that just feeds fodder for the even the middle right. Um, he helps give them messaging points. It's irritating. Don't give him a platform. Uh, because he focuses so much on that using woke. Thank God. Um, uh, what's her name? Sonny Austin was like, you said woke is gonna um, just part of the problem and sort of taking him to task on what that means because he uses it as a weaponized word like the far right does, and that's the thing that drives me crazy is that he uses their same tools and tactics um and it to and helps to kind of make their point, which irritates the fuck out of me. So I don't like him. Um, and I don't, then they had three whole fucking segments on him. So anyway, um, frustrating set of 2 days of The View so far in this beautiful uh end of May that we're having.